couldn't have been any better is kind of the hallmark that we have for the Parks and Recreation Department these days. Not only the national accreditations, not only the gold awards, but just the continued improvement that we see in our community, in all parts of our community, whether it be ribbon cuttings at Wheelings down in Olathe, or at Meadowbrook Park, or here at Antioch. It's just such a nice breath of fresh air, and that's not supposed to be a pun. Getting to come out and celebrate the parks. It's something that our community really cares about, and it's not just something that we say. We have the numbers to prove that. When you look at the citizen satisfaction survey, Parks is the #1 ranked department in Johnson County, and that absolutely deserves some applause. And I just continue to be grateful for the hard work of the staff that puts their time and dedicates their careers to improving this quality of life in Johnson County. Having a county in which 95% of the people in our county say that they are satisfied with Johnson County and want to live in Johnson County puts us in the top 2% of all counties in the nation. And the quality of life that 10,000 acres of parkland and soon to be 12,000 acres of parkland provides is, to me, a huge component of that. Mental health, physical health, community health. And the beautification of Antioch Park through the Rose Garden is just a really great representation of that. I want to say that I'm grateful on behalf of all the county commissioners to be here today. I do want to recognize the Parks and Recreation Board members, the chairman right over here. Good to see you, sir. And then Eric Haig, my appointment, who I think is doing a really nice job. And any other Parks Board members here? Several others here today. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. It's a great team, and I'm glad that we've continued to have good people who are willing to give some of their time to make this a success, because without them, this wouldn't happen. So I hope this is an amenity that we can all enjoy for many, many years. I am glad that there are more talented people than me that are caring for the roses. I might do a lot of things well, but grace and care for plants is not one of them. So I'm glad I get an opportunity to come enjoy it, though. So with that, I want to say thank you very much for being here. The board is very proud of you and grateful for your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Okay, great. So as Rhonda mentioned, I do have a little personal connection to the Rose Garden. The Rose Garden is particularly important to my family because my husband Martin and I got married here almost 11 years ago to the day. So this is a very special place for us. And as you can see, our two children are here, and they're just as excited to be here celebrating the Rose Garden as we are. So. Well, again, good morning. We are so excited to have all of you here today to help us rededicate this very special place as part of the Johnson County Park and Recreation District's very first park. I would like to offer special recognition to our Johnson County Park and Recreation District Board of Commissioners, of course, our chairman, Bob Carlson, Dan Forgy, Eric Haig, Heather Rubish wasn't able to be here today, Gary Risto wasn't able to be here today, and then Commissioner Jeff Myers, who also serves on our board. I would also like to give a very special recognition to the Parks and Recreation District Foundation. Do we have any members from there today? Oh. Hi, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. The Helen S. Cuddy Rose Garden holds fond memories for many people, obviously including myself. And the recently completed renovations will add seasonal interest, provide an improved gathering space for visitors, and bring the site into compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, so it can be enjoyed by all, which is something that we really strive for and work hard at Johnson County Park and Recreation District. Antioch Park, as we mentioned, was the first park in our system, and it was opened in 1958. This garden was established in 1974. And in 1978, it was renamed after Helen S. Cuddy, who was dedicated to park beautification through her lifelong service and work with garden club projects. The garden was completed in 1989, and unfortunately, Helen Cuddy did die in 1997. Planning for these recent improvements, as all of you know, is not something that happens overnight. This work began back in 2020 and involved many opportunities for public input and feedback into our design concept. Construction began in 2022, and here we stand today. This project demonstrates that while JCPRD does continue to add new parks, and we understand that that's part of our charge, it's equally important to us that we reinvest in our existing facilities and infrastructure. That can be seen in examples such as the recent improvements to the Dodgetown play area. If you haven't played in that, you're really missing out. Your life it's missing something important. You should go up there before you leave today. As well as the South Lakes Boardwalk. These are just a few of the many improvements completed or planned at existing parks throughout JCPRD. These efforts relate directly to Johnson County's mission of providing exemplary government functions and services to keep our community healthy and safe, promote sustainable growth, while supporting people with many of life's challenges and contribute to a high overall quality of life. I look forward to seeing JCPRD continue to helping fulfill this promise through its future projects and improvements. JCPRD's 2015 through 2030 strategic plan, the Legacy Plan, made it clear that Johnson County residents place developing, opening new parks and park amenities as a priority. JCPRD has made great progress on that plan, and today we celebrate the renovation of Antioch Park's Rose Garden. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Chairman Kelly. Thank you, Leslie, for being here today to share some great remarks for us, and Leslie for sharing a little bit about your personal history here at the Rose Garden. And I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate with us today. The rededication of the Helen S. Cuddy Rose Garden celebrates JCPRD's ongoing commitment to enrich our community through excellence in parks, recreation, culture, education, and public service. And as Chairman Kelly noted, parks are extremely important, maybe the most important in my biased opinion, to the citizens within our community. And we certainly know that parks and all of the amenities within them add to the quality of life that we all experience here in Johnson County. In fact, you may or may not be aware of this, but our parks attract about 7 million visitors on an annual basis. Just the parks and trails themselves. That's excluding our facilities and our programming and so forth. So very important to our community. And certainly the Helen S. Cuddy Rose Garden is special within the JCPRD system. And you'll see from the redesigned garden here, there's accessible pathways that feed or kind of zigzag throughout the space. And we work very closely with our design team to make sure that these improvements and this beautiful garden is accessible to anyone and everyone that enjoys Antioch Park. So we really appreciate the efforts in that regard. Certainly the pergola that we have here to enhance the setting, some additional seating that many of you are enjoying this morning. So I hope that you're really pleased with what you see with the improvements today. I'd like to spend just a little bit of time thanking some of the folks that have been involved with this project. I want to thank Vireo, Landscape Architects, Brett Spangler, Craig Woods as well. There's Brett right over here for all of their efforts in working through the design and construction of this. Rose Hill Gardens landscape contractor, John McMillan specifically. AB Creative for their work to help us with the pergola here, Gabe Boucher. And then a special team player here for this project, Derek Buckridge. Derek is right over here leaning against the pergola here. Derek's actually on staff with JCPRD, but he served as the general contractor for this project. Some of you may or may not be aware that the construction environment right now is quite challenging when it comes to bids and cost and so forth. So when we originally went to bid this project out, the cost came in higher than we budgeted and higher than we even expected in this challenging environment. So Derek stood up and worked with our planning and development team and our park staff and said, we can guide through this ourselves and save a good bit of money and have just as good of a result, I think probably better, in my biased opinion. So Derek, I want to thank you for your leadership in this and stepping up. I do also want to thank Rhonda, our Deputy Director, our Superintendent of Parks and Golf Courses, Bill Mawson, right over here. Devin Wetzel, Devin's here somewhere. Devin, where are you at? All right, right over here. He's our Assistant Superintendent of Parks and Golf Courses. Planning and Development Manager, Georgia Sizemore. Project Manager, Yolanda's right over here, Guyton. General Contractor, again, was Derek. Our Northeast Park Regional Manager, Mike Disney. So he spends a lot of his time over in Meadowbrook Park, but certainly Antioch Park is part of his oversight as well. And then our Northeast Parks Regional Assistant Manager, Craig Schaefer. Craig, right over here, sitting on the bench. And then all of our Northeast Regional Park staff that maintain the beautiful Antioch Park and including this Rose Garden. So design and construction is one thing, but as the chairman kind of pointed out, it takes a special touch to care for these plants in this environment, and they just do such a terrific job. So this is a really proud day for Johnson County Park and Recreation District, and certainly for our entire community. And I want to give a heartfelt thanks to our JCPRD Board of Park and Recreation Commissioners, the Board of County Commissioners, and certainly our foundation as well, for all of your leadership, all of your support and guidance that you give us each and every day so that we can provide the best park and recreation amenities and services in the entire country.
1, 2, 3. All right.